This week on Saints Happy Hour, we have part one of our 7-part documentary series, Is Jeff Duncan, in fact, a hoe? Thomas, hit that intro.
Welcome to the award-winning Saints Happy Hour podcast. Seriously, this podcast has won awards. American standards are dropping every day. The show features Ralph, the best host in the world, who can barely pronounce his own name, much less anyone else's.
Marcus Marquez Calloway.
Dave is that dude who loves taking bathroom breaks. He's mad about almost anything, so make sure to lower your volume when he speaks.
Put that freaking clown meme back up that I made. Jesus Christ.
Andrew has sources, watches tapes, and knows football. He rarely shows up on time and wants to commit crimes to help the Saints win.
Sean Payton would have done illegal things. Don't tell me I'm wrong, because you know it's true.
Oh, and there's also Kevin, who is great at doing mock drafts, but struggles to actually watch Saints games or have a functioning relationship.
Budrich wants to know how the doctor's doing.
That ended.
Anyway, grab a drink, sit back, and enjoy the insanity.
All right, everybody. Welcome to another edition of Saints Happy Hour podcast. I'm Ralph Malbrough. I'm joined by Dave, Andrew, and Kevin. Also, hello to everybody watching on the chat, on the live stream right now on Twitch. We got Butteridge. We got Ben Rothwell, Dr. Ben Rothwell, by the way. Your boy Alan, Andrew's dad, Jerry. Ton of people in the chat. Thanks for joining us, guys. Free agency started. People are excited. On tonight's show, we're going to talk Saints free agency. Loomis is getting busy. He's making moves. Michael Thomas had the greatest goodbye in Saints history. We're going to take your questions and a lot more. Before we start, remember to subscribe to Saints Happy Hour wherever you get your podcast. I also have to mention about our MVP contest. If we reach $100 in donations tonight, the MVP will choose which minibar bottle from my gigantic and increasing minibar bottle booze collection I'm going to poison myself with. Thanks to Don. He sent me, guys, this one, 99 proof. It just says pickles on it. I'm sure that is disgusting. And then, Dave, this might be up your alley. This is Ricura Horchata, cream liqueur, Caribbean rum, cream, cinnamon, and natural flavors.
And what proof is that?
That is 70 proof. So it looks like curdled. It looks like curdled milk. I'm sure it's.
Yeah, so you got to go pickle first and then curdle it.
Yeah, right. Yeah. That sounds delicious.
Open up your
combo.
Wait,
yeah.
What can we do? What can we do to have you do them at the same time? Like both bottles in the mouth at the same time.
I mean,
that would be something.
I mean,
and horchata.
You can't, because if I say you got to reach the goal, then they might like reach the half. You know, they get to 100 and then they don't get to 2. No, I'll do them. If you get me to do both, I'll do them both, and I'll puke. I got the puke bucket right there. Okay, so
I think there has to be. Maybe you can set it to like if they hit the $100 goal within a certain time, like 8 minutes right off the top, something like that.
I don't know. I'll tell you what. If you have to do
it in front of your naked son.
Yeah.
Saints Rabbit says he'll drop $50 right now if Ralph does the shots simultaneously.
If you get it, Thomas, what's the goal to do 2 shots? What's the goal? 180. If you get it,
we're 130 off.
If you get to 125 by 8:20, I'll do them both.
That's 15 minutes from now.
That's 15. That's 20 minutes.
15 minutes.
15 Wait, minutes. You said 8. Did you say 8:25 or 8:20?
8:20.
8:20.
8:20. Okay.
Wait, are you counting the 50 that Saints Rabbit has donated?
Yeah.
So 125 more.
125.
Yeah, let's go. Come on.
Yeah. Right. So make it happen.
Wow.
And open those wallets, folks. Open those wallets.
Donate generously to your PBS
So wait
station.
a second. We have 5 in the pot right now. You're saying 125 more to get to 130.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. No. Saints Rabbit is offering 50.
Correct.
No,
Right.
So-
toward the 130. Let's not overcomplicate this. Let's move on. $130 gets Ralph to drink 2 drinks at the same time.
And
Okay. Let's just get close. I'm willing to make deals. I'm willing to deal with it.
So you got 14 minutes to make it happen, guys.
Yeah, we're wasting
When we reach $100 in donation, the MVP will choose which minibar bottle from my gigantic booze collection I'm going to drink from, but I'm going to drink them both. Y'all can choose the order. I guess you go pickle and then curdled milk or whatever it is. You can.
time.
I want to remind people, donate via Stream Elements, typing !donate in the chat. Click the link that appears. Twitch takes like 50% because they're like the mob. But if you donate, when you donate using bits, so if you this way you can spend less money. It's easier to get me drunk. Win-win. Even Andrew can do it. And remember, Dave, the best $20 you can spend on Dolly Parton's internet, text to speech, $20. You type it in the little box. Hit send, boom, British robot guy interrupts the show to say it. Thomas, do we have an MVP leader already, right? So tell us who it is. He's on the board. He didn't. Yeah, I didn't hear from Jason about what to write on the whiteboard, but we would have made a executive decision. It had to be Jeff Duncan as a hoe. Like that's
would have been unanimous.
That's what the whiteboard had to be. I'm drinking champagne and beers to celebrate the opening of free agency. Back to the classics. Dave, what are you drinking tonight?
The usual Spindleton.
Interception! Matt Ryan!
Duncan a hoe.
Wow.
Oh, deception!
Oh, wow.
Matt Ryan!
You're fucked up.
More mock drafts. More tape watching. Trivia question next week.
Thank you, Butterus. Thanks. So
6 minutes.
6 minutes. So no, he's got
11 minutes.
11 minutes. 11.
Oh,
My
11
God.
minutes. Sorry.
11 minutes.
What is wrong with you people?
Kevin, what are you drinking? I know you can't tell time, but
Yeah, the uncle.
the uncle.
The uncle nearest.
Andrew, are you drinking something bougie?
Yes, I'm drinking red wine, Chateauneuf du Pape, French wine from the Rhone Valley.
Of course.
How
much is a bottle of that?
On purpose, so you guys can humiliate me.
Yeah, I know you did. You went on a
how much is a bottle
Come on,
of that?
Tell us, what's a bottle?
$60.
Oh, that's not.
$60 bucks?
60, yeah.
Yeah.
Wait,
so,
say that again. Chateau what?
Chateauneuf du Pape.
Oh my God.
Good luck. Good luck.
My brain just got.
Did I tell
filled
you
to the-
guys I did a podcast in
You
French?
did, yeah, you did. I'm gonna have my wife. She's
the
trying to
red
learn
wine?
French. I'm gonna have her translate it
Saints
for me.
France asked me to come on their show and do a podcast with them,
Oh,
and
really?
I spoke French the whole time. And it was, it's the tightest I've ever been. I've never been so tight in my life. But yeah, I got through it. It happened.
How do you say
I
D?
definitely want to hear that.
How do you
Ralph
say
Pants just
fire
got
DA in French?
Virdier or Virda.
Well, so he brings it up. So Chateauneuf du Pape is a commune in the Vaucluse department in the Provence Alpes Côte d'Azur region in southeastern France. It's a village. It's got a giant castle in the middle of it. Oh, that's where the Avignon Pope used to live.
I want to give people a peek behind the
Let me
scenes.
take a guess. Let me take a gander.
This has become educational. You're learning.
That's right.
something here.
Thomas is
got
always
nothing
like,
on cheese here.
oh my God. Thomas
Fromage.
is
It's called fromage.
Thomas is punching a wall somewhere in Poland because every week after the show, he's like, Ralph, you crippled ass. He's like, crippled ass, get those sons of bitches to stop doing monologues during what am I drinking? Make them stop.
Let's keep going. Let's keep going. So this is a 2020. Very oaky, delicious smell.
That's not very old at all.
Yeah, it's not that old.
Oh, it's an interception.
Oh, wow.
Matt Ryan.
Jeff Duncan is a hoe, for show. Get that pickle in your mouth.
Oh, it's an interception.
Oh, goodness.
Matt Ryan.
It's coming fast and furious here.
Shots, 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 shots.
All right, so we're at 130. Wait, we're at 136.60. Is that without the 50?
That's without the 50. Yes. Saints,
Okay, so add the whoever was saying they're going to add the 50. Add the 50.
No, it's already been added.
Wow. So we're so the siren went off. Are we there?
Yeah, we're
We're at
130.
136.60.
Wow.
No, but I thought Ralph said $130 and he'd do both.
I thought
that
he meant 130.
No, it was 130 because he donated 50. So I was like, we're 130 away. Yeah.
Right, that's what I was trying to tell you at the beginning, Dave.
Yeah.
All right.
So
So we're close. How far away are we?
$43 and
$43. All right.
the same amount of cap space the Saints have.
And you don't get to like sip them, like it's the whole shebang at once.
No, yeah.
What?
No, you put one in one side of the mouth, one in the other side of the mouth,
Yeah.
and it's bombs away.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's basically
Same time.
DPDA in your face.
Okay.
In the face.
So that's tricky. Like that's
7
tricky.
minutes.
That's tricky.
You're getting
It's
double
hard.
teamed, Ralph.
I know,
It's hard. It's really hard.
Yeah,
My
you're going.
bad.
Why don't you pour them both in the boot? And
They
then
won't
drink
fit
it
in
from
the
the boot.
They won't fit in the boot. So, Thomas, I need assist.
I mean, if you want to pour them both in a glass. and
Hey,
just do them
Sally, I
together
need
in one shot,
assistance.
That's fine too.
Oh God.
Because the longer you take to take it, the more it's gonna curdle. So you got to
We're
go
wasting
fast.
time here. We got 7 minutes left.
Yeah.
So,
All right. Let's talk about something Saints.
So let's
Maybe
talk
people
about
will
that.
want
Let's
to
talk about by our standards, getting the Saints stuff in less than 10 minutes into the show is like a record. So Dave,
14 minutes in here.
so Dave, you wanted the
Oh,
Saints.
you're gonna
Saints
go to
do-
me.
You wanted the Saints not to do anything, but the Saints refused to oblige you, and they signed a linebacker right before the show started. William Gay, Kansas City.
Does he go by William? He doesn't go by Will or Willie or Bill
It's
or
Willie.
Billy.
Willie Gay.
Willie Gay. Okay.
So they signed him. So I was going to ask you how you're enjoying the Saints doing nothing, but they thwarted your dreams.
Yeah, but I mean, this isn't a big signing. I mean, first of all, I feel like the last 2-3 years, this has been the MO of the Saints. Like they've been very slow to get. They don't do anything. They don't make big moves. They don't make big splashes in the first 24 hours or so. That must be Andrew. Is Andrew or Saints Rabbit? We're already there. Wow.
Let's
And
fucking
two, I was going to say he did not cost that much. Oh wow, we got multiple.
Chase Young would be cool. We need Marcus Davenport all over again.
We'll get to that.
We're at 199.60.
Wow. All right, I'm gonna have to go.
Well, let me finish my thought. But also,
With
Willie
5
Gay was
minutes
not
to
that
spare.
Fair. I'm gonna go get a
5
glass.
minutes.
I'm gonna mix them together and then do this.
Oh
this-
my gosh,
God.
Willie Gay was not that expensive. He was only $3 million. I saw on Reddit all the Kansas City Chiefs fans were over on the Saints Reddit. They were congratulating us. They thought it was a great signing. They loved it. So I'm always happy to see that. You never want to see fans from the player's former team come over to your website and say, thanks for taking him off our hands. Have good luck. Have fun with him. So that's good. And two, they were all surprised, going back to the price tag, they were all surprised that he, didn't command more money on the market. So I guess that's good news. Although, if you want to be, if you want to have the opposite take, if you want to be Debbie Downer, you could say, well, then how come the Saints, what's wrong with them that the Saints were able to only get him for $3 million? So that's another option.
I have
all
some
right,
thoughts,
Ralph's back.
But first, Ralph, but before I give my thoughts, unmute yourself. Hold up your cup. We gotta be able to see you pour it in. You know,
All right, I poured the
lots of money. So what's that? That's the pickle.
That is the oh my
like motor oil.
It is.
All right, hold up the glass.
Wait,
hold up the glass.
clear.
We want to see you pour in the other one, and we want to see it curdle.
Oh, this.
Also, before that, thanks
believe you
to
agreed
Saints
to this.
Rabbit for 43 buckaroos, to Andrew for 20, and just right now to Dan Checo
why-
283.
Oh.
Sorry
See,
guys,
that smell-
I was muted
Ooh, that smells,
the entire time.
That smell.
unfortunately.
See this. Now I'm scared because this, Dave, it smells incredible. It smells like an Oreo cookie, but I'm mixing it with pickle.
Yeah,
So-
I know. Well, I didn't want you. I came up with this idea because I didn't want you to enjoy the horchata.
And by the way,
All right,
I
hold
want
up the glass. Let's see it. Let's see you pour it in. There you go. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Look at that concoction.
Oh yeah.
Cream rising to the top.
Yeah, it is, Randy Savage.
It actually kind of
Yeah, it
looks
is.
like what you're drinking, Dave.
The cream rise to the top, Gene, to the top.
You better hurry up and drink that.
I'm not.
Dude. Oh my God. Zoom in on him. What are you doing?
Oh, it froze. Okay.
Zoom in on him. No,
All right,
zoom
am I
in
good?
on
I
him.
don't want to cheat. I don't want to cheat the people.
Thomas, what are you doing?
Are we good, Thomas?
Yeah,
Go.
we're
Yeah,
good.
we're
We're
good.
good.
Go. Oh my God.
Oh, he took it like a champ.
Oh my God.
It's coming out of his mouth. It's coming out of his mouth.
Jesus.
He looks like
See that leak out of
Ash.
his mouth?
He looks like Ash from the end of Alien.
Oh God.
That leaked out of his mouth. That was amazing.
Do you just not
your
have a
authority.
gag? Do you not have a gag reflex?
I mean,
Wow, that is impressive. Wash it down. You deserve that high life. You deserve that champion.
Oh, that was incredible.
I'm not even asking about the meter.
Pickle,
I've seen
pickle
Jude-
alcohol.
it's off
I've
the
seen
resume.
Juge talk about fancy vacations, fancy trips, fancy this, fancy that. I've seen Dave talk about spectacular dinners he's had, his pride and joy, his 2,000 square foot shop. I have never seen the two of you so goddamn happy when Ralph takes a swig of something and looks like he's going to die.
Dude, I
Did you
got
see it was coming out of his
pickle.
mouth.
I got pickle splooge to the right of me. It's disgusting.
Pickle splooge.
It's look yeah.
Check the timestamp on that, Tomas.
It
Looks like a Japanese adult film for a
It
second.
looks like the bench that I sit on is like because that's not that much, but it looks like a cum stain. It really does. It's really disgusting.
Ralph,
that
you went
was-
there. I
Play
was
this for the
tiptoeing
back.
around it. I was tiptoeing around it, and Ralph.
That
Ralph
was
just-
horrible.
Ralph just
That,
went there.
that was the first time. That was the first time that I ever did something, and like there was like a 2-second window where I was like, I'm done. Like I can't force it back. I'm done. Like it's gonna be all over the front. My wife's gonna come in yelling at me. Max is gonna come running through naked and running through the Shelly's gonna say, "Don't run through the vomit. I can't believe you did this for money. Don't you have any dignity?" And by the way, before we get back to the Saints, I want to thank whoever because people were attacking me in my mentions today. They're like, he's a loser. He has the worst Saints takes ever. All he wanted, he's a failed Saints beat writer. That's all he ever wanted to be. And people hopped in my mention and was like, no, Ralph doesn't want to be a beat writer. All Ralph wants to do is have have people pay him to drink and look stupid.
That's
and
right.
I was like, thank you.
Well,
My followers.
the ribs on them. Like you were never a beat writer. You were
Yeah,
a
it's
guy
like,
who wrote
what?
opinion columns.
Also, you
never-
just got $200 to drink.
This is media illiteracy. That's the problem.
right.
People think
You are literally a
columns are
professional drinker.
stories. Whatever.
So
Saints Rabbit wants to know how much for you to eat McDonald's to wash the shots down. Nice.
Jesus.
A
We
nice
don't have
Big
we don't
Mac.
have tall Andrew here to order
to go Uber Eats. So back to the Saints. This linebacker move. The one thing I think we need to do before we get to Jeff Duncan and Michael Thomas is, Kevin, we need to take a moment and say goodbye to team decision and pain everywhere legend Jameis He's left us. Thomas, did you find any video of him?
Yeah.
Oh, play the video. Play the video.
It's a combo with the soundbite you asked for.
Yeah, play it.
200 yards, 2 touchdowns. What was the difference for you guys?
I just started praying. I was in pain, but I trust my teammates. We kept fighting. We never gave up. So all the glory belongs to God. He's the one that brought me through.
Where was the pain, Jameis?
Yeah, just pain. It was pain everywhere. So we got to keep on pushing through and being resilient.
I'm going to miss Jameis. I'm not going to miss his Hive fans, and I'm not going to miss one-on-one. But, Kevin, I'm going to miss Jameis. I'm going to miss him.
Yeah, what was great was seeing one of one do a Twitter comparison where he was comparing QBRs of Jameis playing at least 6 games in a season and Deshaun Watson in the last 2 seasons. It's hilarious. It's like, oh, Jameis was over 50 in QBR, and he's got like this like handshake emoji or the clap. There it is.
There it is.
There's our boy.
I saw this online. Jameis one of one. He's already clapping at Browns fans and telling them how terrible Deshaun is and making the case for Jameis to be the starter. And I saw this and I was just like, oh my goodness! I'm so glad he's gone. And for those, it seems like a few in the chat were caught off guard. They haven't been watching Twitter like we have today. But so Jameis Winston signed just under $10 million for 1 year with the Browns to be Deshaun Watson's backup.
Good for him.
So good for him. Pretty good money for him. I did think it was pretty telling that the Broncos made a run at Sam Darnold, didn't get him, and still didn't sign Jameis Winston. So for all of you that were like, "Oh, Sean Payton loves Jameis," obviously he was not interested in bringing him back.
I knew Sean Payton the moment Jameis threw that pass against New England in 2001, and Jameis said it was all God's plan.
2021.
Yeah, no, 2021. It was the game in New England.
You said 2001.
Oh, sorry. The curdle milk is hitting me. What do you want?
Yeah. No, but I said this on Twitter earlier today. Jameis was a really weird experience. Like in some ways, so when the Saints brought him in, he was on a minimum deal, 3rd string quarterback. We kind of brought him in with no expectations. It was like a lesser version of Teddy, right? Like the expectations were even lower because we didn't give up a draft pick for him. The financial investment was 0. And, it ended up being like a very weird and interesting adventure with him. He was a polarizing player. I feel like he divided the fan base. So like, I won't miss kind of like the back and forth griping, but none of that was his fault. None of what was going on behind the scenes. Like, I never really blamed Jameis for that, so I will miss him. I thought he was like a great member of the team. I won't miss Jameis one of one. I won't miss the Twitter fighting. And so it's kind of like both. I'll miss him, and I'm kind of glad he's gone, if I'm being honest. No. A little bit of both.
Can I jump in?
Jump in, Kevin.
So it's also interesting and that the Browns opted not to keep Joe Flacco as the backup.
Went to Jameis,
and it makes me, and it reminds me of Bomani Jones' point that if you have a black starting quarterback, probably a good idea to have a black backup. Probably a good idea to have a black backup because the most popular player on the team ends up being the white backup.
That is correct.
Illegal.
Like,
that's Bomani's point. It's like, okay, all right, I get it.
You can't
tell me this again. I've never heard this before.
The Bomani Jones's theory is if you have a black starting quarterback, you need to have a black backup. Because if you have a white backup, as soon as the black quarterback that starts for you struggles, the fan base, a significant portion of them, is going to call for the white backup.
Well, we experienced that with Aaron Brooks and Jake Delhomme. So and his fans, we saw that firsthand.
And Bomani's example was when Cam Newton was in Carolina, people were calling for horse balls, Derek Anderson to start. And so
is that actually true?
That is actually true. So that's how about Bomani Jones.
Call them horse balls? That's true.
That's what. on Deadspin. So that's the Bomani Jones backup theory, and it's 100% accurate with Jameis. The one thing I'll say with Jameis to wrap up him, Andrew, is the thing that I always feel bad with Jameis is Devin White tried to murder him on Halloween in 2021, and I think 2021, if they'd have had Jameis the whole year, like it would have been a different season. Like I think they'd have made the playoffs.
We were forced to play Trevor Siemian, right?
Yeah, like the whole timeline from then forward would be different with the Saints.
Yeah,
but Devin White sort of ruined it, and maybe the Saints are better off with. They're probably better off with Derek Carr. Maybe, I don't know, but I feel bad for Jameis because like that was his moment, Dave. Like he sat for a year. He wanted to be Sean Payton's quarterback, and Devin White, like the jerk that he is, just ruined it with a horse collar tackle.
Devin White, you say?
Yeah.
Go Tigers.
Yeah.
Ugh, gross. I it's hard for me to feel too bad for Jameis. I mean, the guy has been getting paid this whole time.
He has been.
And I'm happy for him now. I'm glad he's gotten paid big time. And like Andrew said, I'm glad that Jameis 1 of 1 is now not our problem, off our backs. Have fun, Browns fans. Enjoy that one.
Yep.
In fact, I think I'm going to actually I'm going to pay attention to Twitter for the next week or two.
I feel like
watch the Browns fans like just finally come to the realization of what an obnoxious.
I think you want to wait until Deshaun Watson has a couple bad games. I think you really want to check in September.
Yeah.
So
I have to say, breaking news. My stomach feels like it's got like a mini Mel Gibson in it. And it's yelling freedom, and like all the contents in my stomach are about to come back up.
You know what? Of all the things Mel Gibson could be yelling, freedom
is not the worst.
Pretty safe. Pretty safe.
So here's the thing with the Saints in free agency. They lost Jameis. That might get him a comp pick, right? They lost Lonnie Johnson. They lost Bond. And
Malcolm Roach.
Dave's UDFA son.
Yeah.
They added
the only one I ever won with.
That's right.
My favorite son. You know.
Of course. He goes.
They
to
say you can never play favorites, but he's my favorite.
Of course, he goes to Denver. Which Dave, I was annoyed. I'm annoyed with Sean Payton with that. Like,
it's starting to get a little ridiculous, isn't it? I mean, it's like very predictable that everybody just is getting fed to Denver.
Yeah, it is
pipeline city here.
So, Kevin, me and you did a free agency show, and a lot of our potential people Uche went back to New England for like $1. That made me mad.
Good times.
There's still some people on that list available, but I'm going to ask Kevin this, but I want Andrew, you and Dave to answer too. The Saints in free agency, it looks kind of clear from reports and stuff like that. They're not going to create a bunch of cap space and like do like a splash move. And there's not too many guys left that would be like, oh wow, like Danielle Hunter or whoever. But Kevin, I want to start with you. What is a move that you're like, the Saints, they better freaking do this in free agency? You don't have to name a player if you don't want to, but like, what's a move that you're like, they have to do this move? They have to get a body to fill that need. What's one thing they must do in free agency?
I think I would like to see them grab a wide receiver in free agency just for depth, because then you don't have to worry about using one of those first 2 picks. Like, again, I'm assuming the Saints aren't trading anything. I'm assuming they're not trading down. They're not trading up. I'm assuming it's 14 and 45.
You should assume they're trading up.
Listen, do not rain on my goddamn parade. Listen, it ain't even a parade. It ain't even a parade for me to say, I'm assuming they're not going to trade up. Do not piss on my shoe here, okay? Or piss on my cornflakes or whatever. You just keep your trucker hat and sit in front of your flag that's in front of your whatever the hell the gimmick is back there. I don't need to hear this. I don't need to hear this. None of the negative vibrations here, okay?
So a receiver. So you're
receiver, because then you don't get tempted to draft a receiver with one of those first 2 picks. Again, the first 2 picks got to be tackle and edge, tackle and edge, tackle and edge. That's it.
Oh, okay.
That's it.
Andrew, what do you want the Saints they must do in free agency?
I think just fill their holes. I mean, it's always been.
I'm sorry, do what now?
Fill the holes, Kevin.
Not Ralph.
Tomas, check the timestamp on that, please.
Yeah. But no, look, I think the idea that this has always been the Saints strategy is, hey, let's build out our depth so that we're not forced into drafting a certain position. So if we feel like we've filled all our needs, then we're not locked into a certain position that we have to pick in the draft. I wanted to circle back to the gay thing because I didn't get a chance to talk about it. But speaking of checking the timestamp, but I really like William
All
Gay.
kinds of double entendres.
Yeah.
In today's episode.
I really like the William Gay signing. You know,
Ralph's pants just got tighter.
They lost Bond, and I think they upgraded, and they got a guy that can actually play the linebacker position, which Bond really never could. Bond was more of a situational guy. It's interesting because obviously DeMario re-signed, and he has a new deal, but he's got 2 years. He's getting long in the tooth. Werner's in his walk year.
And by the way, I want to say this: when we did the tape review every week last year, Andrew, the one thing that kept coming up was Warner was terrible from you.
Yeah.
Werner.
So you know, I think they got a guy that covers well. I think he's got almost 20 pass breakups in his career, 4 interceptions. So he's a guy that can cover. He can run sideline to sideline, and with DeMario getting older, not quite as fast as he used to be, I think that's an important.
Coach better. Do your job. That's what it's about.
He'll have a role. He'll have a role on this team. He'll get snaps for sure. I am somewhat surprised that he was a starter on a Super Bowl team, a productive one, and all he was really able to parlay that into was a 1-year, $3 million deal. I know linebackers, and he's an off-ball linebacker, so I know it's not like a super sexy position, and they don't get paid a lot, but I am surprised that that's all he landed to be like the Saints' third linebacker. But
Scott Fujita parlayed a Super Bowl ring and a $20 million.
Yeah, right. So, but he will play. He will see the field with the Saints, and the spy thing is interesting because we know the Saints have had tremendous trouble with running quarterbacks, and I think especially when they play teams like that with a quarterback that has that ability, I would expect to see Gay on the field a lot to contain those kinds of quarterbacks.
I'm going to say, of all the holes that we would like the Saints to fill, I think they need to. I think I've missed. I was against it when I first heard the news, and I'm worried that he's going to be the annual guy that drives up his price, the Ndamukong Suh Award, where the Saints chase after him and he uses the Saints to just get more money out of other teams. But I was against Chase Young when I first heard it. He's going to visit the Saints later this week. But I think, Dave, I've missed the Marcus Davenport experience where he plays 2 games, looks amazing, and then gets hurt and misses a month. I need that in my life. So I
thought we might get that from Willie Gay. I thought that's why we had signed him. I thought maybe
no. So I need the Marcus Davenport experience, and I think Chase Young can deliver that, where he looks awesome for 2 weeks, injured for 6, looks awesome for 2, injured for 4.
He's a bougie Davenport.
That sounds miserable.
He's bougie Davenport. He might be because he was a number 2 pick in the draft. Right, yeah. He's not Marcus. He's He's not Marcus 2 first.
He's Marcus number 2.
So I think,
and he's still only 24.
Yeah.
He
could have a break. He could have a breakout 18 sack season. The Saints give him $100 million.
Damn, why did you have a Davenport jersey? Holy shit, that's bold, man.
That's aggressive.
Yeah.
Dave, what do you want? What's your must that the Saints must do?
Solve your problems with aggression.
I mean, I liked what Kevin said. First 2 picks, offensive line, edge rusher, maybe.
What about in free agency though? That's the thing. What do you want them to do in free agency?
Oh, sorry. That's why we're talking about free agency. I don't know. Maybe a running back. Maybe something like that.
Your boo? You're just going to throw your boo, Jamal Williams, under the bus?
Yeah, I mean,
Jamal.
I don't know. I don't know. They don't seem to either like Jamal or they don't seem to use him the way he should be used. Maybe they're looking for something else. Maybe they feel like the grass is greener. I don't know, but I would love to see them have somebody more like Mark Ingram that could complement Alvin Kamara. That's one thing, but yeah, just offensive line. But again, offensive line. Anything. The way Kevin and also me, but the way Kevin feels about trading up in the draft is the way I feel about young, project, oft injured defensive pass rushers. I want to stay far away from them. I hate them. The sound of even the thought of it, the thought of it even just makes my blood boil, bothers me. I want to pick people that are like, guaranteed starters that are healthy, that are always going to be healthy.
I want to say this, something that made me kind of I wasn't as close to throwing up as I was when I was drinking the pickle and the cream liqueur, but it did make me gag a little. Is Derrick Henry got 2 years, $16 million, $9 million guaranteed from the Ravens. The Saints gave your boo Jamal Williams. They gave him $12 million, $8 million guaranteed last year. So like the Saints, like in a flushed running back market this year, they're committed. Jamal Williams is their guy, and it made me a little sad. Thomas, do you have
for a fullback role?
Yeah. Oh, the Saints signed a fullback. The dude that was shirtless. I forgot about him. That's right. They added a fullback this week. I totally forgot his name, but somebody in the chat will mention it. Well, Thomas, give us a donation update. Who's the leader?
Who's the leader? Let me check. Saints Rabbit is in the lead with 93 buckaroos. Who.Golf for second place, 33.3, and your boy Allen tied with Andrew at third place, 28.
I want to say we appreciate the support, but this is the worst of all the drinking I've done. This is the worst I feel because every time I burp, it's completely disgusting, and every time I burp, I feel like it might be like throw up. It's like burping a pickle flavored Oreo. It's disgusting. Sally, I need help.
The fullback is Xander Horvath. He looks like a space marine as a normal-sized human.
And by the way, Kyle Juszczyk, San Francisco apparently told him they want him to take a pay cut.
What's the third drink, Ralph, by the way? The third drink you have ready.
I don't have a third drink ready, but I'll do it. I got all kinds of stuff in the.
We'll think of something.
I mean, I could do. You know what? I'm gonna do my bit, and then I want the guys can respond, and I'll go pull something out of the bin. But I want to get a little bit angry with Saints Twitter and Saints fans in general. The Falcons signed Kirk Cousins, and everybody's afraid of the Falcons. Like, they signed this broken down quarterback who's won one playoff game because Taysom Hill fumbled the ball. He's got a ruptured Achilles, and everybody's like, oh, the Falcons. I'm really disappointed, Kevin. All the Saints fans being afraid of the Falcons, who, by the way, the Saints boat raced them in the season finale. Their defense is trash. I don't care what the Mina Kimes and the Nick and the Robert Mays and all those people say about the Atlanta defense is a fraud. The Saints boat raced them, and I was disgusted that Saints fans were afraid of Kirk Cousins. He doesn't play defense. Am I right to be mad at Saints Twitter, mad at Saints fans for being afraid of Kirk Cousins?
Yes.
Discuss.
Yes, because listen, it's one thing.
And I'm going to go get a drink.
It's one thing for Falcons Twitter or Falcons social media to be excited about this because what was the alternative? So I get that. But Saints fans to act like Kirk Cousins is going to come in as some big marauder, he's well, shoot, I can't think of it. It was going to be a Game of Thrones reference. I can't think of it. The three fingers of the Uncle Nearest did me in for the evening. But to act like Kirk Cousins is this conquering hero is silly to me. Now, I've said on one of the podcasts, I think it was just the last one I did when it was me and Ralph, where I said that, yes, the Saints squandered their best opportunity to win the division. This was their best opportunity in the past year.
Thomas, play the breaking news. Thomas, play the breaking news siren. Thomas, play the breaking news siren.
What happened?
Play the breaking news siren. Admit your crime. Somebody door-dashed me.
I think that's Juge. If I had to bet money, I would say that was Juge. Juge was staring at his phone the last 10 minutes.
It wasn't me. It must be Saints Rabbit.
Football handcuffed to his briefcase.
Somebody door-dashed me a Big Mac, and my wife is like, oh, the door, they made a mistake. They made a mistake. They left through the, I was like, let me see. I'm like, it's a big one. I'm like, that's not a mistake. She's like, what? I'm like,
I'm guessing that's Saints Rabbit.
I'm not
That's my suspicion, man.
Saints
that's
Rabbit,
my suspicion.
So
incredible.
So I just want to say, like,
how did he have your? Oh, I guess he sent you booze.
He sent me stuff. I mean, if people want to send me stuff, if they want to murder me, if they want to send me booze that I will drink on air, they could do it all. My address is out there. It's easily found. So I got a Big Mac. So
not Saints Rabbit. That's not Saints Rabbit. Update from the chat.
Who admit your crime?
Damn.
Oh man. Is there not a name on the receipt?
No, it's not. It's not. It just says DoorDash.
Who also has your address, Ralph? That's in the chat right now.
I wish I could take credit for this. It wasn't me though.
Not me,
Champagne?
Not me, but an A+. The doorbell rang in it. So now I'm gonna eat. Big Mac is so good.
Aren't we pretty close to the next donation too? Is he gonna have to take another shot on top of this burger?
Second Big Mac ever.
$80 away.
Ralph is eating two Big Macs.
How many, Thomas? 18?
80.
Okay.
And
80.
Ralph has eaten two Big Macs in his life, and they've both been live during the podcast.
Other Saints podcasts are going live. They got lists. They're breaking down Chase Young's pass rush rate. We got patrons door dashing me a Big Mac.
Ralph's stomach is going to be in trouble.
In shambles.
Just for the fun, I got this to try to get people, put them over the edge. Mango jalapeno.
Oh, damn.
Tequila.
Gonna be a spicy Big Mac.
That's gonna go great after a pickle horchata mix and a Big Mac.
Guys, this is the one. This is the one, guys.
I'm not
this
afraid.
This is the combo.
I'm not afraid. I'm not afraid.
If you drink that, it's going to be like that music video, the Big Mike music video for
this is the golden
Killer
solution.
Mike. Killer Mike music video for Nobody Speak, where it's that fake UN and they're all fighting each other.
This show
has been about 10% Saints information and 90% complete bullshit.
That's fucking
it's,
illegal.
So it's
so
Tuesday.
what?
So
we've
number one bullshit.
So
we've shrunk it by what, 5%?
Yeah, but like, what are we supposed to do? Mickey had Maddox, Avante Maddox, and Chase Young both in for visits, which I find interesting because this time of year, dudes are getting signed; they're not going in for visits. So
yeah,
he's like, "I'm not paying you unless you show up and do a physical and prove that you're not broken." So our Saints news is they've looked at Maddox, they've looked at Young, and they've signed a $3 million off-ball backup linebacker. That's basically been our news so far.
My wife is circling this Big Mac like a vulture. So this podcast has gone so off the rails that like Michael Thomas called Jeff.
Mike talked about that, but we're burying the fucking lead.
What is the lead?
Jeff Duncan the hoe.
Yeah, Michael Thomas called Jeff Duncan a hoe before Anthony Davis thanked New Orleans.
Oh my God.
Dave, is it the greatest New Orleans Saint exit of all time?
Well, no, I think Jameis Winston. I still think Jameis Winston's team decision, getting Jamal Williams the touchdown, that's the greatest exit. This is up there though. That's pretty good. I mean,
yeah.
You know, he was mad.
Why is he mad with Jeff Duncan though?
I don't. Well, the thing is like not in this tweet, but in one of the subsequent tweets that he put out there at the same time. You know, he was basically trying to discredit Jeff Duncan and saying that nothing that he tweets is, or that he says is, or reports is accurate or correct. But like he said, Michael Thomas is getting cut, and Michael Thomas is getting cut. I mean, that's accurate. I think Michael Thomas
sort of.
Well, yeah, right. The contract. They're not basically.
His deal was always a year.
Right. Exactly. But I guess Michael Thomas is the impression I got was that Michael Thomas was more mad about the fact that like Jeff Duncan is putting all this negative information out there, and Michael Thomas is about to hit the free agency market now. He's going to be looking for a new team. And whether it's true or not, this isn't the kind of press that Michael Thomas wants to be out there. The negative things about his behavior in the locker room or his attitude or whatever. Like, I think that's what Mike Thomas is most upset about.
How much people in the chat want to know? People in the chat want to know how much for Selly to eat the Big Mac. And I don't know if I like
into an OnlyFans.
Selly, I need help.
Into an OnlyFans.
I don't know if I like the tradition of sending Ralph food, so he's more likely to vomit is a good idea for the show.
Sounds like a good idea to me, man.
New bit.
Next week, send him a Wiener Schnitzel.
They want to know about Italian tapas. They got the chat has ideas. The chat has ideas.
What's the worst Chinese restaurant in your neighborhood?
Send him some Olive Garden, man.
Oh yeah,
yeah, right.
Olive Garden right down the street.
I mean, send Dave Olive Garden.
but how much?
Money, folks.
How much, Andrew, is like if Michael Thomas is there if he had called anyone else, I think a hoe out the door, I think reception would have been mixed. Any media, like I'm not going to name anybody because I think it may maybe hurt their feelings. But I think if he would have called anyone else a hoe as he exited stage left, I think the reception would have been mixed. But because it's Jeff Duncan, it was unanimous. Except
you can say whatever you want about Michael Thomas, but he knows how to read a room.
I think Michael Thomas calling Jeff Duncan a hoe was almost as celebrated as Jimmy Graham saying "fuck the Falcons" on his way out. And that's the one you forgot, Dave. I would say that was a pretty epic exit as well.
Yeah, Kevin, can you think of anybody else by Saints fans that Michael Thomas could have called a hoe that would have been as universally agreed with? Because it's
Goodell, maybe Goodell or Bill Vinovich is probably the only other two.
Hey, can we get someone else to DoorDash Kevin a nurse?
Yeah, please.
A stripper? What do they call it? A stripper gram?
Can we do the interception? Matt Ryan.
Jameis Winston said it's a team decision to make Ralph puke tonight. Let's go.
Damn, your boy Allen, 20-3. Chasing Saints rabbit. Bit by bit.
Wow.
We're chipping away at that tequila.
Yeah. Mango tequilas.
How's the burger treating you, Ralph? How's the big man?
Not good.
Octoberisk in the chat says Jameis Winston is gone off the team, and I'm super happy.
Yeah, the Jameis. I like Jameis.
He's divisive, though.
And the stands made him and Jameis one of one. Like, ugh.
Yeah.
So, Thomas, again, how far are we away?
53 right now after that recent your boy Allen donation.
Final question. I want you guys to be as quick as possible.
Good luck with that, man.
Good luck with that. And Thomas is just going out of his mind because he goes, you go off script, cripple, and then we go for 2 hours. Because I had stuff that's not in the rundown. But the Saints are currently.
Hold on, I gotta read this one. RJ Savage goes, Ralph's stomach is so messed up that Dave just had to leave to go take a shit.
Accurate
We
AF.
know what Savage stands for.
Accurate AF. No. Do we think the Falcons are that much far ahead? I don't think so. I don't think the Falcons are that much further ahead of the Saints. But do y'all think the Saints have fallen? If Tampa is 1 and the Saints are 1A, if the Saints fallen behind in the South, do you feel like Carolina maybe has gotten better? Are you worried that the Saints have fallen further behind than where they were at the end of the year?
I think they have. And, I'm not one to judge the offseason off day 2 of free agency. So, there'll be the draft. There'll be a lot of things. I'd want to see how the whole offseason goes. But so I would say maybe a little bit. But Kirk Cousins doesn't terrify me. I mean, I remember when the Vikings signed him, and at the time I was like, oh, man, like they've gone from Keenum to Kirk Cousins. And that feels transformative. Like it feels like the Vikings are going to be at a place of success for a long time. And they won 1 playoff game in 12 years. Or Kirk Cousins has 1 playoff game. That's it. Against the Saints in overtime. We all remember that one. But that's it. And, Kirk Cousins is known for being really poor on Monday Night Football and primetime games. So, like, I don't know. Like, yeah, I would make the Falcons maybe slight favorites in the NFC South right now, but it's not like this is some juggernaut. We don't have the Chiefs in our division. They're not going to be the Dolphins this year offensively.
I just want to say,
way to be a good short answer there, Andrew.
I'm so close. I'm so close to throwing up. If you guys get this, it could happen. I'm just saying.
Oh yeah,
just saying this.
My short answer is 1. Carolina Panthers. They have nowhere to go but up. They're going to be more improved than they were last year.
By the way, they are paying the crap team tax on all these players. They're overpaying by like 25% on everyone.
Yeah. Tampa Bay. I'm not sure. I don't really know what they've done. I don't think they've done too much.
They paid Baker Mayfield a lot of money.
Yeah. They kept everybody. They kept everybody. Yeah. And they traded. They traded their best corner.
Yeah, I expect them to be the same. 10 wins, maybe.
10. That's better.
They won
9.
Atlanta. I think Atlanta has improved. Kirk Cousins, jury's still out. Not sure how he's going to recover from the injury. If he's the same quarterback he was last year before the injury that he was with Minnesota, that worries me a little bit. I always thought he was a decent quarterback who just never caught on with the right team. And then us, jury's still out. And like Andrew said, like this is a ridiculous question for 48 hours plus the tampering period into free agency. Ridiculous question. But let's answer it. We're having fun. We're having a good time.
I'm also a little relieved that the quarterbacks in the division are Cousins, Baker, Carr,
mediocre town.
There's no one where I'm like, oh well, this team's winning the division for the next 10 years.
Kevin, I have a question for you.
Kevin's swiping right now on the.
I have a question for you. I have a question for you, Kevin.
Yeah.
If I told you the Kirk Cousins signing for Atlanta could be an abject disaster. I'm talking like 3-14, 3-14 back-to-back years.
What do you mean could be?
Like an abject disaster. I guarantee you it's an abject disaster. But the Saints extend DA for 5 more years. Would you do that deal?
Only 2 years? With the Falcons being that bad?
Matt Ryan.
Because I don't think I'm taking that, then.
Don't do it, Kevin. Don't
I don't
do
think
it.
I'm taking
Soft
that.
like Ralph's belly right now.
Damn, Saints Rabbit 28 to 3
Wow,
donation.
Thank
Oh,
you.
RJ Savage wants a live mailbag.
We are 24 buckaroos away, by the way.
Wow.
By the way, you can
I'm saying no to
DoorDash
that
me
deal.
candy.
I'm saying
You
no
can
to that deal.
DoorDash me-
2 years.
Me candy.
You can't DoorDash candy. You can?
Laugh, can't you do those midnight cookies?
You can DoorDash like Walgreens shit. They'll go to like Walgreens.
So, listener Vince in Maine sent us a signed Deuce McAllister jersey. It's right there. We're gonna raffle that thing off. Weekly MVPs get their shot at having a signed jersey from a Saints legend. You should be on the MVP wall. Jason Champagne. I wrote it. My lovely wife did not, so that's why it's messy. But next week we'll erase it and we'll put your name. My wife will write it. It'll be nice and neat. So how far are we away, Thomas, from the mango?
$20.97.
Jalapeno tequila. This is a bad idea.
$24.
I went.
This is where you're drawing the line of all the things you've done.
No. I was just. It just might career decisions.
I think this might be where he draws the line. Actually.
No, the thing is, Dave, I was just thinking of like my. I went to journalism school, and this is where I ended up.
Is that what your degree is in journalism?
Electronic media, fake journalism. Yeah.
Fake journalism.
Fake journalism.
I mean, that was back in the early 2000s. I mean, that was like cutting edge for them. No?
You had a lot of athletes in your class, didn't you?
I didn't. No.
No, I wouldn't think anybody would be in his class. Like that was 1999. You were already majoring in electronic journalism.
Yeah, that's right, and it was a failure.
It's very cutting edge. No.
Yeah, it was cutting edge. Like
I mean, that class could not have been around.
Ralph was ahead of his time.
Ralph was a trailblazer.
I was so far behind, I thought I was ahead. So Thomas, hit the take at the top
Like
so we can get to questions.
In fact, you were just in getting lapped. It just turned out.
That's right. I was getting lapped. So Thomas, hit the take at the top so we can give the people finger guns.
I don't know. I'm impressed.
You shouldn't be, because I don't.
I mean, you saw something.
I don't use that degree at all. At all.
You have a podcast, asshole.
Yeah, but I mean, like, not for like. That's true. That's true. That's true. But like, that was like
podcast.
But like,
people didn't even know what podcasts were in 1999, and you were taking a class on it.
No, it was like internet and graphics and nonsense. It was I mean, it's not.
Oh, the internet. Yeah, back in '99. Oh, that silly internet. This will be gone in 2 years. This is just
what is email? Yeah, dial up. Ooh, you wait for
I'm gonna give you a pat on the back, and I'll say, you might have seen something.
I did. So, Thomas, what's first up? Questions.
Okay, we had like a million questions this week. We're gonna do a mailbag after 10 questions alone from Saints Rabbit, the current
My
MVP
stomach feels
leader.
like Derek Carr's shoulder after the Green Bay game.
Jesus. First question from Aldi Marino. Aldi Marino asked 5 questions, by the way. So 15 questions from Aldi Marino and Saints Rabbit only, by the way. Aldi Marino asks, we know his plan B skills are off the chart. Look at him now.
Kevin's head
popped up.
Yeah.
He heard plan B.
Get off a Bumble and pay attention.
But what other drills are the medical ladies making Kevin run in the Kevin Love Life Combine? The restaurant reservation cone drill, the communication race, 40 tech dash.
Interception!
Oh,
Matt Ryan!
Falcons still
Oh, we got there.
we did. So that question's gonna have to wait.
Oh my! Oh, that's a great
You
question.
could wait for Juge to come back.
Wow. No.
Yeah, wait for Jude. Yeah, Kevin, you answer that question.
Yeah.
I think the last thing was something about
Wendell Cavalier,
something
thanks
about
for the
oral.
donation, by the way, man.
Wow.
Something
Thank
oral.
you.
I think there was something about an oral exam. Oral was in quotes.
Let me see.
What's that test they would make people take? at the combine?
Oh, the
Wonderlic?
The Wonderlic.
Yeah, well, now there's a new one. Yeah, now there's a new.
Yeah.
I think I can handle the Wonderlic just fine. No complaints on that one.
So what about
let's see, the rescheduling. Well, the date cancellation, that's not something I'm doing. That's the equivalent of when those GMs come in and ask the players about, oh, so your dad left you when you were a kid, or your mom was a stripper at some point, or you're, like they ask those weird, obnoxious questions just to see how people react. I think that's the equivalent of that. The rescheduling shuttle drill. I like the rescheduling shuttle drill. I don't have to make reservations all that much. The communication Riz 40 text dash, I do pretty well. Like in the texting, it's when the time comes for them to actually agree to show up on a date.
Oh,
and then sometimes like the date happens, and then I don't know. I just bobble that shit. I'm like,
well, they see you for the first time.
And sometimes you make babies.
It's never happened, as far as Kevin is aware of.
It didn't.
By the way, Thomas Morstead is not signing with the Saints.
Boo. You were gone for a while there. How was your poop? Was that a good poop?
No, I was getting.
You didn't come out solid.
I switched to Whistle Pig Rye.
Oh wow.
Good shit.
Oh boy.
Good stuff.
Sticking around for the mailbag.
All right.
Maybe.
Thanks, Archmage, for the Twitch Prime, by the way. True that.
Juge, we should tell you that we hit the 283, so we're waiting for you to come back.
Yeah,
Ralph is going to drink that next shot.
People want to know. People want to know how much for me to do a gummy on air.
Only if you're talking to Paulson.
What good would that do? That wouldn't kick in for like another hour.
Yeah,
he wakes up really early, takes the gummy, and then goes on the air with Paulson.
Oh wow!
And just drives him nuts.
No, I think there should be a thing where he takes a gummy 2 hours before we go on the show. He takes a gummy at 6 o'clock Central Time Tuesday.
He takes a gummy 2 hours before the show, and then he takes a shot when the show starts.
Yeah. So
post gummy
and hits a bomb.
Oh, this is gross. I'm really worried about this.
Weed is not legal in Louisiana. It's decriminalized in New Orleans. It's legal.
Mango,
it's legal,
jalapeno, tequila. This is from Don, by the way. All right, here we go. It's 52 proof. Okay.
All right, this is after the Big Mac. It's washing the Big Mac down. I feel like Ralph's turning into an evil villain. I feel like this is like his origin story.
He's like
He's pale now. He's dropped 2 shades.
he comes.
He's taking the serum like Captain America, man.
God, it's so bad.
You best come hard.
That was horrible.
He's sipping on his beer right now to try
High Life didn't help. The High Life didn't help.
Oh, the puke meter.
Suck on this, bitch.
It's a 9.
Ugh.
Nine.
Like, why would you make mango and who's like mango and jalapeno? The kids don't like that. Let's do it. Like, oh God.
Kevin, is Ralph an inspiration
I need
to you
assistance.
because he's living the living embodiment that anybody can find love and get married, or is there resentment there because he's married? This loser is married and you're not somehow,
and has a family.
Which one is it?
You want the
do you hate Ralph, or do you think he's an absolute loser? Which one is it?
Wait.
No, it's do you hate Ralph, or do you feel like there's hope yet for you?
Oh yeah, right.
You aspire.
No. I look.
It's all right to hate me.
What was that? What was that like dance party song? That was the theme song of Third. That was the theme song of Third Watch. It was like, "There is hope."
Oh. Yeah,
there is hope. That's all I've got. That's all I've got is hope.
Yeah, somebody in the chat just asked, has Ralph ever considered water as a chaser? Water is for cowards.
We'll put that on his tombstone.
Water is for cowards.
I don't think anything
Thomas,
I was saying was that intelligent.
What's next, Thomas?
All right, back to the questions. Next question from CDWPT95, and he asks, short one. What team decision will Jameis be at the forefront in Cleveland?
No.
You know, honestly, like,
who's their
he's
coach?
He's on another team now. We don't have to answer Jameis questions anymore. I'm ready to
This
move
is
on.
the final one.
Who's the coach of Cleveland?
Question.
Let's see.
It's not Kevin Stefanski anymore, right?
No.
Kevin Stefanski is still the coach.
Oh, okay.
Really?
Well, then there could be a team. I was going to say there could be a team decision situation that happens at the end of this. I could see Kevin Stefanski losing all control of Cleveland, but I don't know.
By the way, Kevin Stefanski was one of the coaches rated lower than DA on the players' survey. Just so you know.
The funny thing is, he won Coach of the Year.
He did, and he was still rated lower than DA by the players.
I will say it would be hilarious for Jameis to say something like, you know, I used to do weird shit in Uber rides also, and I turned my life around. And he starts to go down that path and you know, tries to play it off as a mentor to Deshaun, but it's super awkward in delivery. That would be hilarious.
I think the team decision for Jameis would be, I don't know if it's a team decision, but I could see Deshaun like getting hurt or whatever, and Jameis just being awesome for like 2 weeks, and Saints Twitter is aghast, and Jameis 1-1 is taking a victory lap, but then the real Jameis shows up and he throws like 9 picks in like 4.5 quarters. But yeah, I'm with. Whew, that mango shot hit me.
I'm
off the rails.
I am surprised.
My chest
like
burns like
say,
gonorrhea on a cheap whore.
Like Sean Payton in Denver. I wasn't sure how I was going to feel about it. And I have been surprisingly disconnected. And I don't know that I was ever adamantly going to hate him or root against him.
I do.
But I wasn't sure how close I'd be paying attention. And I really, like, I don't follow the Broncos that closely. I just don't care. And, like,
you do
Jameis
follow the Broncos, though, because half of their moves have to do with us.
True.
That's
true.
Right.
But it's kind of, for me, it's like out of sight, out of mind. And, like, trust me, and again, I don't blame Jameis for this. I like Jameis. He was fun. There was so much to enjoy about his time in New Orleans, but I'm not looking to infuse my life with more Jameis once he's gone.
He's dead to me.
When I've been begging for it to stop while he was here.
Kevin, though, I would say this. I was really locked into the Broncos, especially when they gave up 70, because I was like, oh my God, that second round pick is going to be top 5.
Yeah.
And there was a moment there, but like as they like clawed their way to mediocrity, now I don't have any reason to give a shit about them.
Who is their quarterback, by the way?
Jared.
Hang on.
Jared.
Find that out.
Jared Stidham.
Where did they draft, Kevin? You should know this, Mr. Mock Draft guy.
Hang on, I'll have that in a second. New mock draft. In the first round, they are picking 12th. Let me pull up what their other picks.
Should have took that 2025.
So 12, 76, 121, 136, and 145. Those are their first 5.
They're totally drafting that Michigan quarterback. Somebody in the chat wants to know, Thomas, what's the Polish word for cripple?
It's
important.
kaleka.
We got important questions. What's next on the submitted questions, Thomas?
Okay, wait. You never shut up and let him answer the question.
Go ahead, Thomas. He said it. I heard it.
I did twice, man. It's kaleka.
Yeah, and I couldn't hear it. Kaleka. Got it.
Put that on a T-shirt,
Kaleka.
Dave. What's next, Thomas?
It's Kaleka.
I'm gone. I'm gone. What's next?
That mailbag is in shambles, man.
He looks like Walter Matthau from the Odd Couple movie.
Wow, what a great! You know what? Ralph does look like a young Walter Matthau.
Wow,
actually, a little better looking. Walter Matthau was a little more puggish.
I haven't been this drunk since on my birthday on Saturday. So, it's right. Your boy Alan.
Steak dinner?
It was fucking fantastic.
No schnitzel, huh?
No schnitzel. The German restaurant, the pandemic closed it down, man. I can't.
The pandemic.
Yeah. So, Jude. Somebody said Aldi Marino says Jude is Jack Lemmon. So what's next?
Who is Jack Lemmon?
Are you?
He doesn't know. You never seen Grumpy Old Man?
Never mind. Oh my.
Yeah,
God.
I saw John.
The Denver Broncos depth chart at this moment is Jared Stidham as the 1 and Ben DiNucci as the number 2.
DiNucci.
Ben DiNucci, my boy.
Yeah, they're definitely drafting a guy.
Yeah, they definitely are. What's next, Tom?
Last question.
No, first question from the chat from I Have the Aid. Is a Polish sausage called sausage in Poland? No, it's called kiełbasa. I think it's also called that in the US, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
We have. Yeah. Well. Okay. So this is a good. I guess this is a good question. I guess I was under the impression that kielbasa in the US was a specific type of sausage with certain ingredients or a certain type of.
And that's also
casing,
true in Poland.
I guess.
That's also true in Poland.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So
all sausages
sausage is a sausage.
are
A kielbasa is kielbasa. It's a different thing. Yeah, it's a completely different thing.
So you can get like Italian sausage or chorizo, or something like that in Poland.
Chipotle? Do they have Chipotle?
I don't know. I don't eat such things, Dave. So I couldn't.
Do you not
tell
eat meat? Are you a vegetarian?
No, I'm not a vegetarian, but I don't eat meat for breakfast or dinner. I only eat meat for lunch.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow. Is there a reason behind that rule?
Terry?
No. I just don't like ham and shit. You know. I like eggs. I like cheese. You know.
Okay. What do you usually eat for lunch?
For lunch, no. Chicken, maybe pasta. You know, a fish.
Did you say pasta?
Thomas isn't a real person. I'm convinced.
They're smiling. Pasta.
Pasta?
Yeah.
Interesting. All right. Wait, what was the question? Kielbasa?
Kielbasa.
I don't know. I like Italian. I like Italian.
That was supposed to
meat.
be a fast question, man.
Yeah, what's next,
we still have 2 questions left. Okay, next question
you
from
know how
Saints.
this goes. The ones you think are going to be fast go long,
Yeah,
and the long ones go quick.
Hey, remember, Poland is close to Italy. October is in the chat. Polish tapas. Okay. Question from Saints Rabbit, the current MVP. If Kevin could draft a wife... He's already unhappy about the question. If Kevin could draft a wife, what would her ideal occupation be according to Kevin? Is it really a medical profession?
My honest answer is it doesn't matter to me what her job is as long as
you get the rectal exam.
Yeah, as long as she's productive.
Yes, he said.
I mean, look, if she can milk the prostate, I'm fine, regardless.
But here's the thing.
Wow.
But here's the thing, Kevin.
It doesn't matter to me what her actual job is, as long as she's happy and productive and contributing.
Kevin Jr. on the way
to what we're doing as a couple and a family. Then I'm fine with it.
You got to throw out your regular draft strategy, though. You got to trade up in the wife draft. You got to trade up. You can't be trading down in the wife draft.
Right. That's true.
You got to give up. You got to burn future assets. You can't trade down in the wife draft. That's my.
Kevin, we got another question from the chat from I Have the A. Damn, Kevin, my wife is an ER nurse, and she says there's tons of single nurses in Denver. Are you willing to relocate?
It depends on what the job. Well, it depends on what my job prospects are. Like if I could go,
Your job
if I could move somewhere,
are dating a nurse.
Yeah.
Well, listen, I say
You're gonna
that.
date
I
like
say
5
that
of them, and they're gonna feed you. You know.
All right, but
and milk your prostate.
But here's the thing. Here's the thing. I was all in on the doctor, and I was fully prepared to relocate to South Carolina. But that was because.
And then she relocated for someone else, though.
And well, she relocated on her own. Maybe she did relocate for somebody else. I don't know, Tomas. I don't know that. But, you know, if I'm going to relocate, I have to have some sort of job prospect myself. And, yeah. So, it doesn't have to be a medical professional. It doesn't have to be.
What about a veterinarian?
Veterinarian would be great.
What about a veterinarian?
I love dogs.
Thomas, what's next?
The veterinarian is great. Lots of experience with milking, right?
Oh.
All right. Final question of the show.
What if it was Cat Terrell? Is Cat Terrell single? Maybe we should be looking within the Saints.
The Saints universe.
Yeah.
We could get Kevin set up in the Saints.
I don't know
universe.
why, but I feel like there's no way Cat would date Kevin.
Whoa!
Christ, all right.
Wow! Shots fired!
Shots
God
fired.
damn it.
Wait.
I mean, he's accurate. She doesn't come on the show anymore. She doesn't come on the show anymore.
Don't focus on your chateau to whatever the fuck.
Oh, we hit a nerve here.
Solve your problems with aggression.
Now wait a minute. Before
Listen,
we even
what about
go further
Kay
down
Adams?
this
She
road,
likes the
is
Saints.
Cat?
Now,
Wait.
now that I think you're a shoo-in.
What about Sheba?
Is Cat single? Sheba would never.
No,
Shiva
she's
can
in
be-
L.A.
Damn
Yeah,
it.
she's in LA. But no, Sheba would never. Even though Kevin has an in with me, she would still never.
Why not?
She's too good for Kevin.
Oh,
Wow.
man.
You could cue the Selly sound by there.
I'm kidding.
Terrible.
I'm
Terrible.
kidding. I don't know. I just got too much.
Brooke
Sheba has
is,
too much
Nick-
energy for.
Brooke is Nick Underhill's co-host or host.
She was.
She's
Former.
gone. That
She's
was all
gone?
kinds of drama too.
Yeah.
That was all kinds of drama.
Where you been, Jude? That happened like 6 weeks
I missed
ago.
that. What happened?
I don't know.
That's a good question, man.
I don't know.
That's what everybody inquiring minds want to know.
Kevin started dating
Yeah.
her, man. That's the problem.
Text Nick right now. Let's get the scoop on the show right now.
That's right.
He's doing it right now. All right. We'll have the answer for you on the mailbag.
People are coming to Kevin.
Become a patron.
People are
Become a
coming to
patron
Kevin's
so you can get
defense
the
in the
mailbag.
chat, which is good. That's right. Become a patron. Maybe we'll do behind the scenes. We'll do the Kevin dating Olympics.
And you can find out why Nick and Brooke parted ways.
No, we don't have that kind of power.
She moved back to be with her family.
Yeah. What's the what was that? Was that the final question,
No,
Thomas?
she's from Houston. She moved back to Houston to be with family.
Oh wow. All right, Thomas. What's the last question?
Okay, final question from the former MVP, Jason Champagne, MVP from last week.
Oh, this is a good question.
Who's worse, David Tepper as Panthers owner or Lou Tepper as LSU defensive coordinator?
It's a great question.
Could have added. Who's the guy that does the bar rescue? What's that guy's name? Isn't that a Tepper too?
I mean, but here's the thing: Bar Rescue is successful. I am uniquely qualified to answer this question because I went to LSU from 1995 to 1999, and I experienced the entire Jerry DiNardo arc where LSU was horrible, as Andrew can attest. They had Curly Holman. They didn't go to a bowl. They didn't go to a bowl for like 6-7 years, which for LSU is just unheard of. Like they didn't have a winning season for like more than half a decade. That's incredible. So Jerry DiNardo, like he literally was like, I want to bring the magic back. And he did. And like he got LSU winning, and they were winning 9-10 games. And then he hired Lou Tepper as his defensive coordinator. And LSU's defense was an atrocity. And DiNardo like wouldn't fire him. Like he just was like, he's my boy. I'm ride or die with Lou Tepper. So like Jerry DiNardo literally probably could have been at LSU for like another decade, just churning out 9-10 wins. But Kevin, I gotta say, like Carolina, they are on an absolute run of being the worst team in the NFL for like a good 5 years. I mean, they turned down 2 firsts for Brian Burns. They traded him yesterday for a 2nd and a 5th. I mean, that is.
Yeah, I don't get that.
That's as
I
big
would
a
rather
downgrade.
have Robert Tepper run my franchise.
That's as big a downgrade as Selly did when she married me. I mean, that is huge. I mean, you know. Hey, Selly, I need assistance. She's too late. She was completely disgusted with me.
I
today,
think
trying to eat the Big Mac. But go ahead, Dave.
I'm sure. I think David Tepper is worse. I mean,
David,
you know,
I mean, he threw a
LSU
drink on a
defense
fan.
I didn't know that.
How confident, and Andrew, how confident are you that the Panthers just really don't know what they're doing and they're going to stay bad? Not that they're going to stay like 2-win bad, but like they're going to stay bad for a while. How confident are you in that? I'm pretty confident.
I'm actually pretty confident.
Yeah.
I feel that way about the Falcons too.
Oh, I know you. Yeah, I think maybe I should like screenshot Andrew's text to me because Andrew really like.
Yeah, let's see it.
He hates the Falcons, as all Saints fans do, but he really doesn't respect the Falcons' moves at all. Like today, Andrew was just giving me a text chain of they signed Mooney, the receiver, and Andrew.
Wait, you don't like that move? Why? What you got? Something to say about a Tulane guy? What do you got to say? Andrew?
They paid
just like they paid him. What was it? $13 million a year.
26 million guaranteed. 26 million guaranteed
for a 5'11" receiver that catches 30 balls a year. And yeah, I mean he's a deep threat that can make some plays, but I just look at Mooney as a guy that's like totally average. And it's funny to me that I don't know, the media has been so desirous to call this Falcons offense amazing. And it's like, oh, they got this guy. Oh my God.
Kevin.
And like, I just think Drake London.
Well, Darnell Mooney, you know,
Drake London is just kind of okay. Kyle Pitts has been really underwhelming. You know,
I picked him 4th, by the way.
We'll see.
I don't know. I mean, hey, this is all good news. Like, honestly, Andrew, if you're right and if these moves are terrible, yay us. Because
here's the thing about the Falcons. They also, like the Saints, had the softest ass schedule of all time. I think they were way worse than their record. And their record was bad. I think they were much worse than their record indicated. And yeah, the quarterback play was abysmal, but I think Drake London is overrated. I think Kyle Pitts is overrated. I think their defense is overrated. A lot of the production that they had last year, like they had nice numbers, but if you look behind the curtain and you analyze it a little bit and you look how they played in that last game against the Saints, my God, they were awful.
And the week before against Justin Fields, he lit them up.
I just think like Cousins is going to elevate them, no doubt, because the quarterback play was awful. But I just think their schedule, if it gets a little bit harder, I still don't. I don't think Cousins to me is one of those guys that won't lose you a game. And there's value in that. I think Carr's kind of like that too. They're not one of those quarterbacks that's like going to throw a bunch of picks and just give it away. You know, they're going to make the right read. They're going to check it down on 3rd and 17, punt, live to see another day, whatever. But like, I don't think those guys, Carr or Cousins, are the type of quarterbacks that make shit happen and win by putting on their Superman.
Kevin, I was thinking
don't do that.
I was thinking this. Matt Ryan was sort of like, he was good, but like, I never hated him because he was just so boring. I think Kirk Cousins is going to be really, really hateable. Am I wrong? Like, am I overreacting there? I just think
no, I don't think you're overreacting at all. He's absolutely hateable because he was coming from the Vikings. So like, and wasn't that his one playoff win?
That's right, because Taysom fumbled. He won a playoff game.
You know, that makes it easy to hate him, and then the fact that he's going to the Falcons makes him even more hateable. Like, it doesn't matter that it's Kirk Cousins. It could be anybody going to the Falcons. They're going to become hateable. Kirk Cousins was already unlikable. Now he's hateable. So there.
Yeah, I like that.
I got to fix my window.
All right, Thomas, before we get out of here, give us a final MVP tally. I'm so drunk.
Magical show, guys. I think that goes on the Mount
We had a
Rushmore
first. We've been doing this show. Guys, how long have we been doing this show? We've never had food delivered.
We've been
12, 13 years.
Yeah, at least since the Super Bowl year, since 2009. So 15 years.
More than that, maybe. Yeah, maybe. Yeah.
Well, Ralph, me and you were doing it since what? 06?
07.
07?
Yeah. 07.
So 15, somewhere between 15 to 17
years. Yeah.
Which I feel like makes us the oldest podcast still
we
recording.
Yes,
not
we are.
Saints. No,
100%.
I mean,
in the
like
world.
across all all platforms. Like I listen to Mark Maron's podcast, and he'll kind of brag a little bit about himself, about how long he's been doing it. He's only been doing it like 11, 12 years. And he's like, I've been doing it. I was one of the first people doing it. I'm like, no. I was out of
bitches.
Back in my backyard on Blog Talk Radio. I specifically remember being in the parking lot of my cheap motel in Miami after the Super Bowl.
Behind the dumpster.
That was February 2010. That was not my first time on the show, and that was 14 years ago. So at least 14 years we've been doing this. Guaranteed.
I think 15.
So long ago.
15 or 16.
Yeah.
15 or 16. Yeah. Honestly, we should have more people.
The first time I came on the show was
we wasted a lot of time.
The Super Bowl season.
Years.
That's right. And we didn't start going weekly until Bountygate. Like we used to take a giant break. We used to be like, as the season's over, we'll see you in free agency, and we take like a we take like a 2-3 month break. But then Bountygate happened. We're like, oh shit, they have news every week. We got to do this every week. And now we do it every day. So Thomas, I'm so drunk. Did you do the MVP recap already?
I didn't. You interrupted me.
Let's land this plane.
It's too late, man. It's like Boeing, Dave. We're not gonna land.
Oh Jesus! I hope you weren't parked. I hope you weren't parked near the airport.
That's
what a reference that was.
So, by the way, if we get to 400 patrons, I will drink even more on this show than I did tonight.
No,
think about that. So, thanks to everybody for listening.
So, can I thank everyone or not?
Yeah, do it.
He would have doubled that. He would have had 6 drinks.
Let's do it.
Jesus Christ, man! Thanks to everyone who donated. We reached 3 donation goals. You made Ralph puke, guys. Thanks to everyone. To Dan Checo,
he drooled. He drooled. He didn't puke.
Close.
Yeah.
Close.
I will count that as puking. Come on, man. Thanks to Dan Checo, to Archmage, to Jason Champagne, to Badrich, to Wendell Cavalier, to Andre Juge, to Hudat Gopher, to your boy Allen, and to the MVP. For the second time this draft season with 121.3 buckaroos, who is... the one and only Saints Rabbit. Congratulations! Let's fucking go!
Well done.
Let's go.
Well,
remember to DM me, Saints Rabbit, and you can pick what's on the whiteboard next week. We can leave Jeff Duncan as a hope. We can leave it for a couple weeks, or you can have something completely new. So thanks to everybody for listening. Thanks for supporting Saints Happy Hour. Please go to saintshappyhour.com, become a patron, and support the show. We cannot do this without you guys. Thanks to everybody who supports the show, especially thanks to who DoorDashed me a Big Mac. That was
chef's kiss.
It's just the best. Thanks to Dave, Andrew, Kevin, and Thomas, the best producer on earth, running the show back in Poland. One of these days, Thomas, the intro, we won't talk about what we drink for 15 minutes, I promise. But that day was not today. Remember, kids, if you're going to support a Saints podcast, you ought to support the one that gets food DoorDashed to the host and the one that wins awards. Until next time, the bar is closed.
Milking prostates.